Good evening, one and all. This is Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey, and we're just about ready to kick off the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. And since it's Thursday, we'll be monitoring a Simplex frequency, 446.125. And I will be the net controller tonight. So we're just waiting for the big clock on the wall to flip over to 7 p.m. The Lake Ontario Radio Club meets 5 times a week. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on the VA3 repeater on 443.075. And obviously, tonight, Thursday, is on Simplex frequencies. Anyways, just stand by. We got a few more seconds to tick off the clock until we got 7 p.m. local time here in Hamilton, Ontario. The atomic clock says we've just flipped into 7 p.m. right now. So with that, we'll bring attention to all stations that this is Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey, your host tonight on the Lake Ontario Radio Club net in Simplex. Since it's Thursday evening, we're on a frequency of 446.125. And in standard fashion, we're going to take a quick standby for any time-sensitive mobile or priority traffic stations. Nothing heard there. All right. We're also live streaming tonight on YouTube. Feel free to follow along there. You can look up my call sign, VA3IMW, in the search box. Scroll down till you find that little red sticker that says live. Give it a click and you'll find us right here. Anyways, we'll open it up to anybody. Anybody, anywhere who can hear my voice, more than welcome to check in with your valid call sign. I'm standing by for you.
Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo, India. VA3WPG. Victor Echo 3, India, Uniform Kilowatt. VA3NFG.
Okay, very good. We got Larry, Chris, Bill, and Steve, and we'll take them in that order. Good evening, Larry. Did you make contact with your friend down in Georgia?
No, there was too much QRM, and I just, I couldn't get through. So I'll leave that in your capable hands, Mac. I do a park to park with him.
Yeah, I knew you'd get a kick out of that. Would you consider just keying up and saying, no, I don't want to talk to you, but I'll talk to your wife?
No, not at all. Grocery day today, and a little bit of drizzle rain outside right now. So apparently we're supposed to get a bit more over the next couple of hours. But naturally, when I had to put the garbage out, it was coming down a little bit. Nothing heavy, but just anyways, it seemed to have stopped when I walked in the house after I got that done. So, which is a natural thing.
Yeah, but there again, it's liquid. It runs away. It's not the white fluffy stuff that sticks to the ground and has to be dealt with separately. So I'll take a little drizzle now and then without any complaints whatsoever. But yeah, that's going to make the grass grow. You probably have to cut it a few more times. I was thinking though, Larry, you were mentioning that. Typically, you do a pressure wash on your lawnmower before you put it away for the season. And I was just thinking, if you wait for the first good dumping of snow, you take your lawnmower out to the driveway and allow it to run over the snow, and actually it will ice sandblast the underside of the deck as you use your lawnmower for a snowblower.
Well, that's a good point. Then I could use the bag when it gets full and make a snowman.
Yep, sounds like you've hit on something. You could start your own fad, grass bag snowmans, and have them propped up on every front lawn. Actually, you could run up and down the street and populate something like your own singeing soldiers, right? Those terracotta replicas that they dug up underground, you could have a bunch of Larry soldiers on the front lawn. Anyways, grocery day today. So wallet's thin, fridge is full. Roger?
Yep, and I didn't even check the price of the bill. I know there was just 2 bags, and I wasn't interested. I just walked away. I pushed the card out while she was paying for it, so because I didn't want to know.
Yes, indeed. Well, I guess the good news is that Habitant soup is on sale for $2 a can at No Frills. I got a special request from the missus on the way home saying, "Can you stop and get a can of split pea and ham soup? I just have a hankering for it." So, lo and behold, I stepped inside the store and the sale price was in effect.
You're all set. Look at all the money you saved doing that. Okay, Mac. I'll pass it back to you. I think Bill's in behind me. No, Chris is in behind me. Then Bill and Steve. I got it in order. No problem. All right. Thanks for doing it, and I'll listen along to the duration here. VA3, I'll be like clear.
Okay, and I see Chuck is already busy building his own snowman fleet there. Okay, good evening, Chris. Once again, good to hear you on the radio this afternoon. Thanks for you and Steve chiming in to keep my drive on the way home interesting. What's going on in Chris's world today?
Good evening, everybody. VA3 WPG. Not much going on here. What is that I hear in the background? That is my rad tail. Give me a second while I shut this off. Alrighty, yeah, so not much going on here. Just listening to the net, dropping in a check-in. I guess yesterday I mentioned I renewed my Hamilton Conservation Pass. They told me 5 to 10 days, but it showed up the next day, so great timing on that. I have here a free pass to get in there. This pass holder is entitled to a free vehicle entry for up to 6 people per car into one conservation area for 1 day. This pass applies to Christie Lake, Dundas Valley, 50 Point, and Valens Lake. Pass to be given to gate park attendants, camping park services, purchase of food, rentals, reservation fees, bait, or merchandise are not included. This pass has no cash value and may not be reproduced. For more information, call blah, blah, blah. I have this one from this year and also one of these from last year, which I did not use since I guess I have the pass. They both expired December 2028. I am not going to be using either of these. So if anybody wants these for a free day at the HCA Parks for POTA, if you don't have a membership, you can have these at no charge because I am not going to be using them. Other than that, as I say, the first radio today, just dropping in a check-in for the net, and other than that, we will be listening along in the background. VA3 WPG.
Okay, very good. And I too invested in one of those memberships, and I have a similar voucher. So I guess in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that if we're going to choose to use Christie Conservation Area for the winter solstice activation, then perhaps there's going to be some people that are going to need entrance to the gate, and that may be a good way to use those vouchers up. Anyways, yeah, don't throw them out. If they're still good till 2028, there's all kinds of opportunities for folks to use them. Anyways, Chris, certainly appreciate your check-in tonight, and thanks for sharing that. Also, if anybody has not yet read the update from Hamilton Conservation Authority that Dave posted on Discord, it's a good read, and obviously some more sensibility has come to light, though. So it's good news overall. Anyways, Chris, anything else before we move along and say hello to William?
No, I think that should be good for me. So yeah, let's keep her rolling along. Be listening. Everyone have a good evening. And yeah, VA3 WPG.
Okay, so I'm going to throw it up in the air because I forget whether Bill or Steve came in next. But Bill, do you recall?
I think it's me and then Steve.
All right, there you go. Pick it up and let us know how your day went.
Okay, yeah, day was not too bad. I had to bow last night from Jackson because I was feeling some residual effects from the flu shot, but we're fine today. Didn't do too much today. Did some computer work and did some POTA. So contacts on 20, some on 40, nothing special. I think I got maybe like 10 new parts today. So our total is 1,522 parts. So we're moving along quite fine. Other than that, Mac, I can't think of too much else right now. Back to you.
All righty. I had maybe 8 or 10 minutes to poke around on 20 and 40 meters. I found 40 meters kind of noisy. I did make contact with a new park in Connecticut. And then since 40 meters was as noisy as it was, I flipped down to 20. And there was 4 operators at a brand new park in Arizona. And there was another one in there. So 3 new parks in 8 minutes or something like that. So yeah, I guess we all take the opportunity to chalk them up when we can. So congrats on moving along, and 1500's in the rear view mirror. I think from here on in, you only get an award every 500 parks, or are you still in the award every 100?
After 1,000, it's a park every 500. So I've got a ways to go. Unfortunately, on this antenna, I'm not hearing the West Coast that well. So any West Coast, I'll have to pick up on the higher bands. I seem to peter out on 20 meters after about Missouri, Idaho, about that far up, but I don't hear too much of the West Coast. But of course, that could be a lot due to the noise level that I have on 20 as well, because it can get a little bit horrendous sometimes during the daytime. So we'll have to pick up the West stuff probably on the higher bands. But interestingly enough, I got Dell today, and what is this called? Into WIK or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. He was at 7 parks. I didn't think that was possible, Mac.
Oh yeah, Washington D.C. He gets in there. He's got a spot where there's a park and 7 trails that intersect. So yeah, it's that's not the most extreme case. I think he's had one that had 9. Anyways, the guy does his homework. So and it's always interesting to talk to Dell. He's a genuine human being. So yeah. And as far as 20 meters on the West Coast, I would say it's only a rarity that I hear Oregon on 20 meters. Washington State, practically never. And it's usually 17 meters or so, maybe even 15 meters, that you get a good ear on the West Coast, and then California, maybe even a little further up, 12 and 10 meters. So not to worry. Yeah, those. I'm pretty sure you've already got those green squares colored in, don't you?
No, I'm still looking for 6 parks. I got Washington D.C. for the wild card, so I need 6 for the award. 7 to completely fill it in.
All right. Well, it's good to have goals in front of you, and I'm sure that now the antenna is functioning better for you, that you'll find those opportunities popping up all over the place. The one that's really, really going to tickle you pink is when Hawaii comes alive. You almost want to try to set up a ham alert for anything coming out of Hawaii. That way you get a good chance to listen, and then maybe just when the band conditions are perfect, you can pounce and strike.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, we'll hold it to just a couple comments, and then you better pick finally got Italy confirmed as a park. So that kind of looks nice on my quota page. We're waiting for Azores. Once that's confirmed, that'll look nice as well. So at least we're getting some DX entities as well. Thanks a lot, Mac, and I'll pass it back to you, and you can pick up who's next. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Back to you, Mac.
All right, and Steve is the follow-up guy. Okay. Thanks again for your check-in, Bill. Certainly appreciate it. And let's move over and say hello again to Steve, VA3NFG. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mac, and to all on the net here. It's a nice day today, let me tell you. Wasn't too cold, wasn't too hot. Just about perfect. While Bill was talking there, I was just pondering there. I have an auto tuner, for like a 12-volt auto tuner here, or it's here, but I could use that on the 857 instead of using the ATAS. Of course, with a wire, but it's something to think about.
Yep. And when I run a long while, like a end fed with my 891, I don't even have to reconfigure the radio to not recognize the ATAS, so I don't change those menu settings. So yes, when I'm running the 40 meter wire, it's cut for a length that I think it does pretty much flat on 20 meters. Needs a little bit of help on 40. So I take the better resonance on 20 meters, and obviously the auto tuner, it tunes with RF, right? As RF comes through, it activates the tuner if it sees something that's greater than, I think, 1.5 SWR. And once you tune it, then you have the option to desensitize the tuning. So if you have any spikes, that it doesn't keep clicking and kerchunking. But yeah, that's definitely an option. So any Yaesu operators who also have the old man antenna, the ATAS 120, you're not limited to running just the ATAS. You can run it with a long wire, and if need be, throw in line an auto tuner. Yeah, that's a good option there, Steve.
Yeah, Roger that. It's it'll handle up to 1,500 watts. Yeah, that's something to think about. Rather than rely on the old dependable ATAS. Maybe more of a spring and summer month thing to do. But I guess I could always even run the coax right up into the vehicle, sit in the vehicle. Anyway, getting away from that. So other than that, yeah, today's a good day. Day number 2 of 2 that I had off. And so I'm back at it for the next 3 days. Next day off Monday. There's something else I was going to mention, but I'd forgotten. So I might remember it on the 7-3 round. All right, back to net control there, Mac. You're doing a fine job, sir. And 7-3 to all. VA3NFG. Stand by.
All right, Steve. Well, if that other thing happens to come to mind, don't feel that you only had one chance. You can always break back in and let us know. All right. The other thing to consider, since you have that mag mount antenna situation there, you could actually use that as a mounting point for some additional coax. If you string a wire up in a tree and just operate out of your vehicle. And then, you have the extra distance and simplicity. Or you just throw the wire in through the window and, Bob's your uncle. Okay, Steve, we'll thank you very much for your check-in, and we'll see if anybody else is out there that wants to say hello. Victor Alpha 3, India, Mike Whiskey. On behalf of the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net, come on in and say hi.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. And we have out of phase communication between us tonight, I think. Nonetheless, I can hear every word you're saying. It's just some little fuzzy distortions. Anyways, thanks so much for the AREG net last night. Very entertaining. Great content with the Canadian trivia. And always, as usual, we find the On This Day very interesting. Anyways, come on in and say hi.
Hi.
All right. Is there anybody else that wants to check in?
Good evening, Mac, and all on net. Thank you for that, Mac. I have a lot of fun, researching in it and then doing the net with it. So, yeah, glad you enjoyed it. And I'm always trying to find ways to keep people's attention and keep things lively. And so all this talk that Bill was doing with his POTA, it made me look up my stats. And I got my award for 50 states, but I'm still missing Hawaii. And then I looked over at my the countries or entities hunted, and I was surprised to see I'm up to 23. And so 2 more before I get an award. And I usually focus on just DX, not necessarily POTA. And maybe I'll start racking some numbers up with the entities there. Started off the day with contact with Netherlands, and turns out he was just starting to stream his amateur radio experience on YouTube. So I went to his YouTube, and about 4 minutes in, I was the next caller there. So that was interesting. And of course, made a few other pretty decent contacts there. Mostly on 10, 1 or 2 on 20, but 10 is just opening up. And especially with the CQ Worldwide DX contest, it's gonna be busy.
Oh, so this weekend's going to be a good time to hide out on the warp bands.
Oh, yes, sir. It is the largest single sideband contest that they have there for the world. And, that's where I pick up new countries or / entities. You got to psych yourself up, though, because you know that it's going to be wall-to-wall, standing room only.
You make sure you've got that bag of caramels alongside your radio so that you don't sugar crash while you're working band to band to band.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of my best weekends, I must have gotten 72 countries, but I don't know how many contacts, but when you have the time and everything is working in your favor, then why not? I don't do that many contests, but this one I really like.
Okay, we won't call you this weekend. We're going to know what you're going to be doing. So do you hunt and pounce, or do you set up your own frequency and call?
I haven't
done my own call outs, but I've been meaning to. But it's so much fun chasing around the band. I haven't yet sat down and grabbed a spot and called out. I might do that this year. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it on Sunday, and for Friday night and Saturday, I'll just, like you said there, hunt and pounce.
Yeah, and when you decide to sit down on a frequency and call, you shouldn't feel bad about using DX Summit to spot yourself. That way, anybody who's interested in working you can find you there. And then usually, I would say maybe 1 out of 5 contacts for DX will spot you somehow, and that shows up on the DX cluster.
Oh, all right. Yeah, good to know. That's right. There's a few options out there.
Yeah, a little legal, but technical advantages where you can spot yourself somewhere and just help yourself get things rolling, right? And once you got a couple in the log, and they tell 2 friends, and they tell 2 friends, and so on and so on and so on.
That reminds me, somebody spotted me today right after I made a contact with, I forget what country. I've got several. And then I look up on the AC log, the amateur contact log, and there I am as a spotted. So, yeah, that's the first time I think I've seen that.
See, there's your 15 minutes of fame. It starts now.
Yeah. And it's also cool when you hear yourself on DX on YouTube as well. Anyways, Matt, I'll say thank you for doing this, and the phase distortion seems to have settled, and you're coming in clearly now. So thanks again, and I'll let you pick up some more if there are any. The VA3s.
Okay, very, very good. Thanks so much for your check-in, Chuck. And check-in, Chuck with chicken. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can remember the first time that Kevin, which we haven't heard of on the radio in a long time, sent me a video link. And it was the first time I had actually heard myself, and I was working a photo park, and the guy obviously was streaming it on YouTube. So it was an interesting experience, especially the first time, to hear yourself on somebody else's radio way out in the middle of nowhere. And I think one of them was actually a guy that was kind of reposed on a rock somewhere in Alaska. Had a chunk of wire up in a tree and a little radio, and lo and behold, there was VA3IMW talking to Alaska from here in Hamilton. Yeah, really cool stuff. Anyways, let's see if we can rattle up a couple more check-ins here. It's Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey, on behalf of the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net, looking for check-ins for Thursday night. It's 7:28. We got lots of time for you. Yep, that's right, Chuck. And you also say, this is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife. This is not my beautiful car. How did I get here? Anyways, I want to thank everybody for checking in tonight. We're missing Solar Newbie and Albert checking in from Barrie. So perhaps he's working a little bit late. Anyways, for everybody who has checked in tonight, certainly appreciate it. And we'll just remind everyone of the Friday night ZOE Rag Chew tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Your host, VE3LBI. That's our friend Larry on the East Mountain. So, 7.3s one and all. I'll turn this frequency back to normal amateur use and bring the net to a close, and as well the stream. 7 3s, 1 and all. That's how we say goodbye.